3 loading. Boat number 3 loading.
Can't I go with my Johnny?
No women allowed on the island.
But it's different in the Navy, miss.
I'll give you a hand, buddy. No, it's all right. It's all right. I can handle it.
Boat number 3 loading. Last call. Carter Island Hospital. Moving out.
Sally, here we are.
Oh, what time?
Shh. Take it easy, Sally.
Take it easy. After the way I've been pushed around. Oh, Eddie, why did we do it?
Well, you love me, don't you?
Sure, I've got to.
Well, there ain't nothing to worry about. You're Mrs. Eddie Pratt, and we're alone at last.
Hey, what's going on in there? Hey, Pratt, what's going on in there?
Nothing, sir. Nothing.
What's going on in here, Pratt?
Hiya, Corporal.
Who were you talking to?
Nobody.
Didn't I hear you say something about Mrs. Eddie Pratt and being alone at last?
Well, I guess I was just sort of making believe.
Well, cut it out. That kind of make-believe ain't no good for a guy. I'm putting a new man in here with you.
When?
Right now.
Corporal, don't do that.
Why not?
Because, well, he might not understand the situation.
Situation?
Yeah.
You're nuts.
Well, what are we going to do?
Don't worry. I'll find a place. This fog will help. Come on.
I didn't hide and go seek on my honeymoon. Never thought I'd come to this.
Shh. The sentry walks his post every few minutes. In here. Come on. It's okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Oh, Eddie, I'm scared.
Come on, sweetie. It's all
Aren't
right.
you scared, too?
No, I'm a soldier. Shh. Sentry. Come on, Doc, over here. Sentry catfish.
Corporal of the guard, post number 6. Corporal of the guard, post number 6. Hold, who goes there? Hold him on fire. Stop him, Edwards, he went over your way. Good. Over there, Corporal. Holy smoke. Who is it, Ferris? Mr. Riley. Who done it? I don't know who done it. Then who were you shooting at? A guy beat it out through the door down towards the barracks. I challenged him. He kept on going, so I opened up. Burge, Parker, you guys beat it down to the barracks. Look every place for this night prowler. If he don't stop, plug him. The rest of you guys work towards the tent. Harry, you take charge. Well, come on, get going. Turn the lights on, Ferris. Hello, guardhouse? They don't work, Corporal. Is Lieutenant Matthews there? Well, connect me with his tent and make it snappy. Tell Murphy to get a couple of kerosene lamps.
Tuck, get in here. I gotta go back at my own tent till I see what happens. You hide in here till I find a place for you.
Well, whose tent is this?
Sergeant Peterson. It's all right. He'll be busy at the guardhouse.
Oh, Eddie, that was a dead man in that building.
Yeah. On the most important night of my life, a guy's got to go out and get himself murdered. In here, quick.
What kind of a guy could do a thing like this, anyhow?
I don't know. Riley wasn't a bad sort.
Well, I'd better get back and cover my post.
No, you stay here. Lieutenant will want to talk to you. Abbott, you walk post number 6 until I send someone to relieve you.
Okay. Attention. At ease. You examined the body, Corporal?
Yes, sir.
You sure there's no heart action?
None whatever, sir.
All right. Tell the sergeant to post relief at once. Have the rest of the men assemble in the mess hall for questioning.
Yes, sir.
Give me the facts, Ferris.
Well, I'm walking my post, sir. I stick my light in the window there, and I see Riley pinned up there. I call the corporal. Then I seen someone run away from the building. I yelled to him to stop, and he kept on going. So I shot at him.
Was there enough light for you to recognize the man?
No, sir.
Could you tell whether he had a uniform on or not?
No, sir. Only kind of a shadow going away.
And then?
And then I came in here with the corporal, sir.
I see. The guardhouse. So you didn't try chasing after the man, did you?
No, sir. He was too far away. I called to Edwards on number 7 to try and stop him, though.
Lieutenant Matthews, give me Sergeant Peterson.
I understand, sir. I'm to send out a party to search the island for a stranger.
And no launches are to leave the island either. Get Dr. Brooks and Mr. Jeffries. Tell them to come to the experimental building. That's all. Headquarters.
Hooker, take charge here while I post a squad at the dock.
Yes, Sergeant.
Hello? Yes, sir. Officer of the guard, sir. Hello.
Colonel Hackett, this is Matthews, sir. I have to report that Mr. Riley has just been found murdered in the experimental building.
What? Riley? How? Good heavens. I heard the men firing, but I thought they were warning a boat away from the island. I'll be right over. One wretched thing after another. Find my boots, Nelson.
There they are, sir.
All right, all right. Don't stand there looking at me. Put them on, can't you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Eddie! At last.
No time for that now, Sally. I'm on duty.
Then I want to go home.
Sally, nobody can get off this island tonight. Every foot of shoreline is guarded. Now listen, you gotta lay low till I find another place for you.
Well, can't you stay here, too?
Of course not. I gotta think of my duty, ain't I?
Well, what about me?
The army comes first. Oh, but as soon as they find that murderer, we can relax.
Say, that must have been that guy who jumped out of the law.
Must have been. I can still feel his fist.
There's a big swelling where he hit you. There's going to be a big lump, Eddie. Maybe there'll be fingerprints on it.
In the back of a guy's fist?
I don't see why you had to bring that gun in here.
It's a soldier's weapon, ain't it?
Why don't you lay it aside a minute? Pay some attention to me.
All right. Just for a minute, though.
All in, men.
Oh, what's the use?
Oh, what's the use?
Well, the corporal sent for some lanterns, sir. Good. Place one over there, one over there. Yes, sir. Now, what's this about the lights, Ferris?
Something's busted, sir. The wire's broke.
You mean it's been cut? Have you any idea what time the lights went out?
No, sir.
Do you usually flash your light through this window when you're making your rounds past this building?
Why, no, sir.
Then how did you happen to do it tonight?
I don't know.
You must have had some reason, Ferris.
Well, Riley was telling us at mess about the extractor he was working on, and I wanted to see what he had done to the gun.
Are you trying to tell me you could see the extractor on a gun from that distance?
Well, I guess maybe not, sir.
You'd better think of a better reason, Ferris.
Yes, sir.
Where's the body, Mr. Matthews?
There it is, Colonel.
Good heavens. Brutal. Make an examination, Doctor. Who found him?
I did, sir.
Where?
Tied up over there, sir.
Who took him down?
Me and the corporal, sir.
On whose authority?
I issued those orders by phone, sir, in case there was still a flicker of light.
Oh, that's all right, then. I won't need you anymore.
Report to the sergeant, Ferris.
Yes, sir.
Looks as if he'd been tortured.
Yeah. There must be more than 50 bayonet cuts on his chest.
Frightful. Better make a full report.
I have to take this bayonet out first.
Well, we can play rough, too. We'll get that fiend if we have to tear the post apart. Lieutenant, put every man you've got on those searching parties. I expect no one to be off duty tonight.
Yes, sir. I've issued orders that no launches are to leave the island.
Good. Wait. Have Peterson telephone the landing station on the mainland. No launches are to return to the island either unless I change those orders. All men out on pass will report to the barracks at Fort Johnson. Got that?
Yes, sir. Murphy,
Yes, sir?
deliver this order to the sergeant. He'll assign you to a party, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Might we have some lights in here? Why are you using those kerosene lamps?
The light wires were cut, sir.
I see. Now, give me all the facts as you know them.
Yes, sir. I first heard the shots from my tent.
Did you make the regular inspection tour tonight?
Yes, sir. The sentry can vouch for that. Found everything regular, then I went to my tent.
At about what time did you finish the tour?
Roughly about 9:30.
How long were you in your tent?
Until Corporal Sanger got me on the phone, sir.
But you said you heard the shots.
That's right. I was in my tent, sir, checking my reports when I heard them. I started to leave when the phone call came through.
Did you leave your tent at any other time?
No, sir.
Did anyone see you in your tent?
No, sir.
Then you were alone and unobserved for about 20 minutes prior to the finding of the body?
Yes, sir.
Then you could have come in here.
Yes, sir, but I didn't.
All right, Lieutenant. Will you question the men on post 5 and 7? Check up on Pettis again, too.
Yes, sir.
How about you, Mr. Jeffries?
I've been in my quarters all evening, sir.
Alone, I suppose. No visitors?
Alone. I was reading.
Where were you, Doctor? Alone, too, I suppose?
That's right. Alone and reading.
Wasn't anyone doing anything that we can check up on?
What were you doing?
Why, I was alone reading, too.
Then don't pick on us.
All right, all right. How about those civilians you're using on construction work? Are you sure they all left the island as usual on the 5 o'clock boat?
I'm certain of it, sir. They were all checked off the island by the timekeeper.
Bring the timesheets.
Are you doubting my word?
I'm doubting everything right now. Bring those timesheets here.
All right, sir.
I wonder what makes him so touchy.
Just what do you know about him anyway, Colonel?
Nothing, really. He came to the island about 3 months ago as superintendent of construction.
And Riley?
He was an army contractor. Later became an ordnance expert. That was his job here.
I suppose, Colonel, you knew they seldom spoke.
Can't suspect Jeffries for that. Riley had strong likes and dislikes, but he had no real enemies.
Why do you suppose he was tortured?
I wish I knew. What time do you think it happened?
I'd say he died between 9:45 and 10 o'clock.
Then whoever did it is with us still.
And probably not a stranger. Did your people turn over equipment for him to work on?
No, we arranged for him to get his supplies from condemned ordnance pieces. I think he got a shipment just the other day. Here's the crate. Well, I'll be...
What is it?
Why, these are new. A half dozen new Vickers haven't been used before. This is the original crate.
Didn't he ever get new ones?
Of course not.
Well, where are they from?
From Rock Point Arsenal. There's something crooked here. These guns sold to the right people would be worth a fortune.
Don't shipments like this go through Jeffers' department?
Yes, but he wouldn't have opened the case.
Well, shouldn't Riley have reported the mistake?
He should have, certainly. But he never said a word to my knowledge. speaking. Get me the mainland. Yes, the mainland.
What are you going to do?
Call in an expert. Yeah, Hackett speaking. Get me Bob Rogers. Where? Washington. Well, put me through to him. He's an old friend of mine.
Is that the Rogers formerly of intelligence, sir?
That's the man.
Splendid.
Excuse me, sir, but isn't this a case for the police? And why call him in?
Have you any objection to my handling this in my own way, Mr. Jeffries?
Why, no, of course not, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to know that. Hello. Is that you, Bob?
Yes, George. What's on your mind?
I'm calling from Powder Island. A man's been killed here. It's a nasty case, and I'm making no headway on it. The papers will have the story by tomorrow, and if I don't have a suspect to offer, I'm in for a roasting from higher up. I need your help.
Yes, but man alive, I'm in Washington.
I know that, but listen. Will you, as a favor, drive down to the landing field? I'll arrange to have a plane there for you. It'll only take you a couple of hours.
Yes, but I'm guest of honor at dinner tonight. I can't walk out on them now.
I know it's an imposition, but you don't know how badly I need you, Bob. Will you? Fine. Yes, that's right. We'll arrange to play a battery of lights on the water at the landing dock. Right. Thanks. And hurry. Rogers will crack this if anyone can.
I have the timesheets to call for, sir. They're all in order.
Thanks. Mr. Jeffries, I want to show you something. When did this crate of guns for Riley arrive?
2 or 3 days ago.
Take a look at them.
Brand new.
Yes.
Well, it looks as if Riley was running a nice business.
That's a nasty thing to say.
What makes you think so, Mr. Jeffries?
This is the second crate of new guns received this month.
How do you know?
I happened to open the first crate in the receiving department, and Riley was furious about it.
Why didn't you report that to me?
I thought you'd know about it.
Well, I didn't.
Anything else, sir?
Oh, not till Rogers arrives. Oh, you have a chart of the island showing floor plans of the buildings and the guide layout, haven't you?
Yes.
We'll dig it out, please, and have it ready for Rogers' use, that's all.
Very well, sir.
I wonder how many of those guns were shipped in here. We'll have to do a good deal of checking up.
It's pretty serious, sir.
Let's have another look at that bayonet.
Be careful of fingerprints.
Don't worry. I read detective stories, too. Rogers will want to have a look at it. What's this?
Look out! Grenade!
Pins out! Duck!
Anyone hurt out of here?
No, sir. That was a little too close to suit me.
5-second fuse generally is.
If you hadn't seen that grenade in time...
The 3 of us would have been finished by now.
Who first touched that bayonet?
I removed it from the body and placed it on the desk.
Yes, but who's been near it since then?
All of us were, sir. Private Ferris, Corporal Sanger, Dr. Brooks, Mr. Jeffries, you and myself.
And that means that someone who was in there, someone we've seen and talked to tonight, is the killer.
That's right, sir.
Then that stranger we're looking for is...
Stranger nothing. It's someone we know.
Gangway.
What is this?
A girl.
I can see that. Where'd she come from?
From under my bed, sir.
Under your bed? Explain yourself, Sergeant.
I didn't put her there, sir. I went back to the tent to change my shoes, and there she was, hiding under my cot. And this man was hiding outside.
Listen, sir, I can
Shut
explain...
up. What's your name?
Sally.
Last name?
Wilson. Pratt.
Well, which is it?
Both. No, I mean Pratt.
Sir, if you let me...
Be
I can-
quiet. How'd you get on the island?
We came in a boat.
Why did you come here?
She came over with me,
Shut
sir.
up. You have no business here in the first place.
Oh, yes, I have, General.
You know you're likely to get yourself into a great deal of trouble. A man's been killed here tonight, and we're looking for suspects.
I ain't no suspect.
Why were you hiding in the sergeant's tent?
She was waiting for...
Will you be quiet? Well,
Well, I didn't want to be seen.
don't try flippancy with me, young lady.
But I didn't want to be seen.
How did you manage to get on the launch?
A duffel bag. And you men ought to be more careful the way you throw your bags around, too. Say, will you see all the black and blue marks on
I'm
me?
not going to see anything on you. Whose duffel bag were you in?
His.
Yours?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
You wouldn't let me say so in the first place, sir.
How did she get in your bag?
I put her in it, sir.
You what?
I just sort of slipped her in.
You know women are not to be brought on the island. You've had that regulation hammered into you, and yet you disregarded it?
But we got a right to a little happiness, ain't we, sir?
We're on our honeymoon.
Silence!
Get back to your posts.
Corporal, take these two inside.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant, see that the lights are in place for the landing of the plane. Yes, sir. Now, Brooks, we'll get at the bottom of this honeymoon business.
Attention. Stand at attention.
Why did you do it, Pratt?
We was married this afternoon, sir, and
Do you expect me to believe that?
Oh, look at General. Here's our license.
it's a fact. I was in town on a pass.
Did you get married on it?
No, sir, I got married on $2.
We didn't do nothing wrong. All we wanted was a quiet place to talk it over.
What time did this great ceremony take place?
Oh, about 4:30, sir.
Huh, we've been on the run ever since.
What a pity.
I'm sure I seen the murderer in here tonight, sir.
What's that?
Who was it?
Oh, of course we couldn't see his face. It was too dark.
But he clipped me right on the chin, sir.
Look at how it's swelling, General.
Stop calling me General. I'm a colonel.
Where did this happen?
Well, right in here, sir.
You see, we couldn't stay in Eddie's tent, so Eddie brought me in here.
Why?
Oh, we're like that. We don't like company. And besides, a woman's place is with her husband. You know, General, it was as dark in here as the inside of your stomach. I'm sorry. I was scared stiff. I'd only been here a minute when a soldier threw a light through that window, and we seen a dead man.
Then a fella jumped out of that loft, and I tried to tackle him, sir, but,
Oh, Eddie was brave as anything.
Well, why didn't you hold on to him?
well, I tried to, but he clipped me, and when I went down, he beat it.
Was he a civilian or a man in uniform?
Oh, I couldn't tell that, sir.
I see. We'll need your testimony later. Sanger, hold them in that back room till I call for them.
You believe their story?
Why not? They're too thrilled to lie. Great to be that young, Brooks.
It's great to be that dumb. Colonel, in my examination of Riley, I noticed something I think you should see.
What is it?
Come over here.
Well, here's your honeymoon cottage, Mr. and Mrs. Go right ahead. Make yourselves at home. Don't mind us. We know how it is. Don't we, Al?
Sure, we know.
Oh, thanks.
Come on, honey, sit down over here. It's about as private as Niagara Falls.
Just as I thought. That bruise back of the right ear was made with a .45.
Isn't that a pretty offhand guess?
You saw how that indentation in the skull just fits the butt of your gun. How many men on the island are equipped with that type of pistol?
Not many. 4 or 5, I should say. Let's see. That lets the men of the guard out, but it would include Matthews, the sergeant, Jeffries, and myself.
And I have one.
That would be about all I know of.
What I'm driving at is that the bruise on Riley's head is indented with certain marks. Find the gun butt that matches those marks, and that evidence will convict the owner.
I'll order all guns delivered to me. We can examine them when Rogers comes out. Look out! Come along, you men. He's in the loft. We'll get him. Search forward. Over the porch. Come out or we'll shoot.
There's no one here, sir.
Are you sure of that?
Yes, sir. No one, sir.
Sergeant of the guard!
Fine landing, pilot.
Thank you, sir.
Over there by the tree. Get him.
Put that light out, quick, put it out!
Number 1 spot. Follow me.
All right, man, down this way. Look over here.
Be easy with him. You're all right, Bob, aren't you?
Yes, I'm all right. Take care of him. I don't seem to be too popular here tonight.
I hardly know what to say to you. We've had so much excitement here tonight, we're all at our wits' end.
Yeah, so I see.
Those shots came from the back of the dock, sir.
All right, start a search for the man who fired them.
Yes, sir.
Man badly hurt?
I can't tell yet, but he's still breathing.
Well, this is Dr. Brooks, Mr. Rogers.
How do you do, Mr. Rogers?
How do you do?
Glad to have you with us.
Where have we met before?
I don't think we've ever met. Excuse me, I've got work to do.
Well, what do we do first?
Go to your quarters and get a good stiff drink.
Was this man usually here this time of night?
Not as a rule. Where'd you find him?
He was tied here.
The lights are all fixed, sir.
Some new guy in there starting an investigation all over again. Asking more questions.
Eddie, I got it.
Got what?
The clue.
Oh, what is it?
That lump on your jaw.
Oh, you can't make a clue out of a lump.
Let me see. Yes, sir, I knew it. I thought I seen a funny mark on that swollen place. Looks like a spider bit you.
Yeah, it wasn't in the spider that bit me.
Now it's coming out stronger than ever. The fella that hit you was wearing a ring.
Oh, guys don't wear rings on their right hand, Sally.
Well, this fella did, and it had a design on it, too.
Yeah?
Look. It's cut it right into the swollen
Well,
place.
maybe initial, huh?
Good heavens, they're gone.
No, we ain't gone, not quite.
What are you doing in there?
Nothing, sir. Nothing.
Who fired that shot?
Well, we don't know, sir. They shut out the lantern first.
So we thought we'd better retire.
Meet Mr. and Mrs. Pratt.
Hi.
Shot came through that window. Scout around the outside the building and see if you can find anyone.
Yes, sir. I think that'll be a waste of time.
What happened, sir?
An attempt to liquidate these witnesses. Well, what have you two got to say for yourselves?
We got a clue, sir.
You mean I got a clue?
Yeah, but it's on me, ain't it? It's right on this lump on my chin, sir. See?
That's where the murderer hit Eddie.
Yeah, I know about that.
And he must have been wearing a ring with an initial on it, because you can see right where it cut a mark on Eddie's jaw.
Did he strike you with a left-handed blow or a right?
I couldn't tell, sir. But from the heft of it, it must have been a right.
Well, that's all for the present. I may need these two later.
Keep an eye on them.
Yes, sir. So you almost got liquidated, huh?
What's that mean, liquidated?
Oh, I don't know. I never had any.
Is it something like being vaccinated?
Yeah, practically the same thing.
Oh.
Where'd the case fall from?
From just about there.
And no one was in the loft?
No one?
Let's take a look at it.
Right.
Where's your Mr. Jeffries?
What's become of him, Lieutenant?
He brought the charge you ordered and disappeared, sir. He's not in his quarters. I have some men out looking for him.
Look for him yourself.
Yes, sir.
Case fell from about here?
That's right.
What's under here?
This part of the loft juts out over a porch.
Exactly. See that hole? All someone on the porch had to do was stick a long pole through there and tilt the case over. That someone evidently overheard you and Brooks discussing the gun bruise on the dead man's head and determined to wipe out that bit of evidence.
As well as Brooks and myself. Do you suppose there could be more than one in on this?
That's possible.
Mr. Rogers, I got the bullet out of O'Hara.
Will he live?
That's hard to say.
This bullet was fired from a regular issue rifle.
Right, but that gets us nowhere. Have you seen Jeffries?
No, he's probably halfway to the mainland by now.
No boats have left the island.
But he's a good swimmer.
You're fond of Jeffries, aren't you? I'm finished with that body. Have it taken to the infirmary.
Why not my quarters? I still have another examination to make.
The infirmary will do. I want that body kept under guard.
Just as you say, Mr. Rogers, I'll get some in.
Here's Mr. Jeffries, sir.
I hope I haven't kept you waiting, sir. I wasn't feeling very well, so I went for a walk along the shore.
Found it pretty well guarded, didn't you, Jeffries?
Mr. Rogers, Mr. Jeffries.
How do you do? Very well, thank you. Haven't we met before, Mr. Jeffries?
I don't think so.
Well, excuse me if I seem insistent, but I seldom forget a face.
Perhaps a close resemblance.
No, it's hardly possible. Of course, the name Jeffries is not familiar to me. Were you connected with the service before you took this job?
Oh, never.
In a civilian capacity, perhaps. Could it have been the Philippines?
I've never been in the island.
Well, I'm probably wrong this time. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right.
Oh, just a moment. Were you ever in Haiti, Mr. Jeffries?
Why, of course.
You're a liar, Dahlman. What is this? Did you think you could fool me by altering your appearance and changing your name? Why, the moment I saw you, I was almost certain. And with Riley here, too.
Let me in on this.
With pleasure. Sit down, Dahlman. You don't look well. Let's talk over old times, shall we? Where did you pick up the name Jeffries, anyway?
After I was...
Released from prison?
Yes, I couldn't find work.
I imagine you couldn't.
So I took another name and then made a fresh start.
How nice.
I'm a changed man, Mr. Rogers. I'm not the man you knew in Haiti. I'm doing fairly well now. Please don't.
Spoil it? Maybe you've already done that.
No, I haven't.
Colonel, maybe you'd like to hear something about our friend here. You seem to have mistaken him for someone else. You want to tell him about yourself?
No.
You want me to do it for you?
No.
Well, there seems to be no pleasing you. Well, our government occupied the island of Haiti from 1915 to 32. In 26, they were building roads through the jungle, and Riley, who was killed here tonight, had one of the contracts. Mr. Jeffries, or Dolman as he was then known, was Riley's engineer in charge of construction. He also kept the payroll accounts and was the only man who had the combination to the camp safe. On the first of every month, Riley brought the payroll in under guard from Port-au-Prince.
Put it there, boys. Thanks for your trouble.
Very welcome, Mr. Riley.
Took your time in getting back.
Who has a better right? Open the safe. Where's your wife?
She's dressing.
Hello, Tex.
Hello yourself. Glad to see me?
Delighted. We'll have a few laughs around here now. Have a nice time in Port-au-Prince?
Swell. You should have been with me. Oh, I brought you something I think you'll like.
Oh, it's beautiful. But you shouldn't.
Why not? You don't mind, do you?
Oh, he doesn't mind.
I thought you didn't know the combination, Riley.
Well, now you're no different.
Eileen, what are you doing?
Listen, Dolman. We've got to get out of here right now.
The natives are getting ready for a raid.
There's no immediate danger. We can send for help. And in the meantime, the money belongs in the safe.
I don't think so.
Well, I do, and I'm responsible.
Let's get out of here quick.
Jeffries was brought before a government court of inquiry in Port-au-Prince and charged with the theft. I was sent down from Washington as an observer for the Department of Intelligence. Both Riley and Dolman's wife appeared as witnesses against him.
Mr. Rogers has brought us some very interesting data on your career in the States, Mr. Dolman.
No one has ever accused me of being a thief.
No, but you are accused of being an habitual drunkard. Men who employed you as an engineer described you as a man of brilliant mind. When under the influence of drink, totally irresponsible. It appears that you were kicked out of one job after another for that very reason.
Your record here is also an unpleasant one. The native laborers under your charge were worked like slaves. When one of them fell from exhaustion, you strung him up by the wrists and flogged him.
I'm not responsible for what I did at that time. I'm half out of my mind with worry and...
And totally out of your mind with drink. But that's no excuse for your brutality. No wonder the natives raided your construction camp. If it hadn't been for Mr. Riley's quick action, every white person in that camp would have been wiped out.
Are you ready to tell us where you've hidden the payroll money that was in the camp safe?
Riley took the money when he and the others ran out on me. I did my best to stop him.
A number of witnesses, including your own wife, have testified that you were the only person who had the combination to the safe.
I tell you that Riley had it too.
Dolman, your story won't bear comparison with that of Mr. Riley.
It's the decision of this court that you be returned to the United States, where you will stand trial for the embezzlement of government funds.
He was sent back to the States, tried, convicted, and sentenced to 10 years in a government penitentiary.
Now, wait a minute. You know, there are two sides to every story.
That's what they all say. They're always innocent. What did you do with the money, Dolman? Did you salt it away somewhere and then dig it up after you got out?
I told you that Riley got the money.
Very thrilling story, but it didn't go down with me any more than it did with the jury. It might have sounded more plausible if you'd blamed the robbery on the natives.
I put the blame where it belonged, on Riley.
When did you see him again?
He came to the prison. He had to have the last laugh. By that time, my wife had divorced me and they were married. She died soon after, but I didn't learn that until I came here.
Who told you that?
Riley.
He recognized you, of course.
Of course.
Didn't he threaten to expose you, tell who you were?
Yes.
Then why didn't he do so?
I suppose he thought he could make use of me again.
You're lying, Dolman. Riley knew your years in prison had made a killer of you. He knew you came here to get him.
Riley wasn't afraid of me, even though he had cause to be. All right. I did come here to get him. But somebody beat me to it.
Do you believe that, gentlemen?
Not a word of it. He's as good as admitted the murder.
I haven't admitted it. I had nothing to do with it. You disliked him, too. You could have killed him yourself.
That will be enough of that.
Have I forgotten anything, Dolman? Anything you'd like to add?
You might add that I served 8 years for a crime I didn't commit. But you don't want to believe that, do you? You've got to have somebody to pin the killing on, and here I am, made to order for it. But I swear to you I had nothing to do with it.
Nice job. Very well done. You and Riley must have had a great deal to talk about.
No. He stayed away from me. I only saw him when he had business at the receiving department.
About that load of new machine guns?
Yes.
What do you know about that?
Nothing at all.
And you never spoke to him except in the regular course of business.
That's right.
But you were here with him tonight, weren't you?
No. You found out something about those guns. He threatened to tell the authorities who you really were, and you had to shut him up. That's how it happened, didn't it? Didn't it?
No, I didn't hurt him. I didn't lay a hand on him.
Then you admit you were here.
No, I haven't been near the place. I stayed in my quarters all evening.
What a liar he is.
What do you mean he's a liar?
Never mind, see, but I know he's lying.
Yeah, but why don't you show him up?
Because I ain't mixing in this thing, see?
Well, I am. I'm sick and tired of these goings on.
Stop!
Will you listen to me for a minute?
Well, Sally, you can't do this.
Don't be silly. I am doing it.
Get back there, you two.
I will not. This has been going on long enough, and I want to get it over with.
Oh, you do you?
How would you feel if you were a girl on your honeymoon and you land right in the middle of a murder mystery before your honeymoon even got started?
Well, this is ridiculous.
Of course it is. All you fellas do is talk, and get nowheres. This man says this man's lying when he says he wasn't here tonight.
I didn't say nothing of the kind, sir.
Yes, you did, sir. I heard him.
Come on, what are you holding back?
Come on, speak up.
Well, you see, I keep a bottle stashed under a loose board out on the porch, sir.
A bottle? Do you realize what that means?
Yes, sir, but you see, I suffered from stomach trouble. So I come up to get a jolt, and I heard Jeffries and Riley arguing in here, sir. In fact, they were fighting like blazes.
Why didn't you speak up before this?
Well, you know how it is, the bottle and breaking regulations.
What time were you on the porch?
It must have been after 9 o'clock, sir.
Well, were you still in your quarters all night, or is this man trying to frame you?
He's right. I did come here tonight to see Riley about the guns. I just wanted to see what kind of a game he was playing. But he got nasty. Said he had a letter exposing me to the authorities.
Was that when you hit him with the butt of your gun?
No, I didn't lay a hand on him. I tried to talk him into tearing up the letter.
And when he wouldn't, you killed him.
No, I didn't lay a hand on him. Let me go, you...
I don't want to get tough, but I'm going to get the truth out of you.
I've told you the truth. He wouldn't promise anything. Told me to see him in the morning. Then I went to my quarters and stayed there. I swear to you, he was alive and unhurt when I left here.
So you're trying to tell me there was someone else?
I don't know who killed him.
You admit he was killed?
Yes.
Tortured?
Yes,
And
yes.
you were glad of that, weren't you?
Sorry he had to die the way he did.
Yes, I'm sure you were, but you had a lot of experience in that sort of thing down in Haiti.
I paid for that.
Why all the torture with a bayonet?
I didn't.
Was it because he wouldn't tell you where he'd hidden the letter? He must have been very stubborn, knowing as he did that you'd kill him anyway.
I tell him I didn't touch Riley.
And after he was dead, there was still a letter to be found. Someone went through the mail sacks. You did that, didn't you?
Why try to pin it on me? I'm not the only one who hasn't got an alibi.
But you're the man I want. First a drunkard, then a thief, and now a murderer. I've been waiting for something like this to happen ever since I reviewed that case down in Haiti. I'm glad I came here tonight. I wouldn't have missed this for worlds.
Then you're accusing me because you don't like me. But you can't prove it.
I can prove anything I want if I have to. You've already admitted you came here to kill Riley. Instead, you found he was up to something crooked, so you thought you'd wait and see what
I
it
said
was.
that I suspected him.
And you verified that suspicion and accused him of it. He laughed at you, so you slugged him and tied him up to that post. When he wouldn't tell you where he'd hidden the letters, you cut him again and again on the chest. Each time he fainted, you revived him. As the time grew short, you became desperate and drove the bayonet into him and killed him, didn't you? Didn't you?
No, you're trying to trick me into this. Let me go.
Take it easy, man.
Come on, get up. You're not going to get any sympathy that way. Come on, get up. Colonel, I want Dolman here held for murder.
You can't. You can't. You've got no evidence.
We've got enough evidence to hang you. I want him kept here under guard. Meanwhile, we'll search his quarters.
Place a strong guard round the building, Lieutenant.
Yes. You, stay right here with him. Don't let him get out of your sight.
Yes, sir.
See you later, Dolman.
Gee, he didn't say nothing about us.
Yeah, what are we supposed to do?
You'd better get back in the bridal suite.
Okay, suits me. Come on, Sally.
And I'd appreciate a little privacy this time.
I'm sorry I had to tip him off, Mr. Jeffries. I wouldn't have said anything at all, only the dame squawked, see? I still got that bottle if you'd care for a little shot.
Why, thanks.
It's all right. It's not hardly enough there to really give a guy a bang.
Helps a lot. You got any more?
Well, not on me, but I'm sort of like a dog with his bones, see? I keep them stashed all over the place. Just let me think a minute. Oh, yeah, I know. Don't try any funny business, see, though, because I ain't never shot a man yet, but I got an awful itchy trigger finger. I got some stuff here in the trash bin. This stuff will really knock your ears down. There's more crooks in this outfit. Holds everything.
Oh!
Follow me.
Post to the guard! Post number 5! Now what's happened? Corporal, look!
There you are.
Thanks.
I'll dress it again in the morning.
You all right now?
I guess so.
And suppose you tell us what happened.
Now, the sentry went to get me a drink.
Yes, he confessed that part.
Yes, sir.
Who put the lights out?
I did.
Why?
Well, I thought
You
that...
thought you were going to escape, is that it?
Yes.
How?
Through the loft. There's an outside stairway that leads to the water.
How far did you get?
I got as far as the ladder when somebody jumped on me.
From where?
From the loft, I suppose. He landed on my shoulders. We fought. I was thrown against the ladder, and then the next thing I knew, you were taking out the bayonet.
And why do you suppose anyone should want to pin you up by the hand?
He wasn't aiming at my hand. He was trying to kill me.
Could you describe him?
Well, it was too dark, really, to make out.
You must have gotten some ideas to his size.
Well, I should say he's nearly taller than I am.
Good heavens, man, can't you do better than that? If he's the one that killed Riley, that
Hold
means
it.
you're... But I mean, there's a
We've
possibility.
got plenty of time to accuse other people.
While we're standing here talking, he may be getting away.
Yes, where do you suppose he might have gone?
Well, perhaps back in the loft.
You'll find no one up there.
How did he get in then?
The same way I was going out, the outside stairway.
What were you doing while all this was going on?
I was standing on my head in the trash bin, sir. Unconscious, too. I didn't see a thing.
Why did you go to the trash bin?
Well, you see, sir, my stomach...
Yes, I know.
Where were the newlyweds?
In the back room with the door closed, sir.
Rat! You're wanted out here.
Am I wanted too?
Not yet.
Well, suit yourself, but he won't be any help to you. He's right on the edge of a nervous breakdown.
Were you back in there all along?
Yes, sir. Me and Sally.
Did you hear the excitement out here?
Yes, sir.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, it was none of my business, sir.
That's a healthy attitude. Jeffries, I want you to reenact for us everything that happened in the dark.
All right.
Pratt can be your assassin.
I can be his what, sir?
Never mind, just do as you're told. Go on, Jeffries.
I hit the sentry with a stool, turned off the lights, and ran for the ladder. I was just about to climb it when the man from the loft jumped on me.
All right, Pratt.
You want me to jump on him?
Just simulate it.
Huh?
Make believe.
Oh.
I was stunned and thrown back against the ladder. He came for me again in the dark, and I flung up my hands to ward him off, and that's when he drove the bayonet in.
How close was he?
He was close enough to strike, evidently.
Get that close.
Yes, sir.
He's asking us to believe that a man that close would miss his body and strike him in the hand.
Well, remember, it happened in the dark.
All right, he had your one hand pinned up. Then what was he going
How
to do?
should I know? Why should I make the explanation?
I'll tell you why. Because you're trying to make it appear that you were attacked by the same man who killed Riley.
What? So that's it.
Are you suggesting that I drive a bayonet into my own hand?
You really think he did it himself?
Why, he'd do anything.
How do you know this man stayed in the next room? It may be that he killed Riley and is just using the girl as a blind.
Say, what do you mean?
Quiet,
I was...
Pratt.
Yeah, but I was...
Quiet! How about it, Jeffries? You did it yourself, didn't you?
No.
It's stupid to cling to such a half-baked plan, but if you insist on being stubborn... You want to talk now?
I told you what happened.
You want to talk now?
Somebody else.
What did you say?
Sure, it was
You.
You forced the confession.
Oh, no, I didn't. And even if I did, no one would believe you, because I have witnesses. Did anyone see me hit this man?
You never touched him.
Pratt? Well, did you see me hit him?
Did I see?
You did not.
That's just what I thought, sir.
Matthews?
I'm sorry, Mr. Rogers. I don't approve of your methods. I shall report this to Colonel Hackett.
That's your privilege. What sort of a guardhouse have you got here?
There are a few cells in an unused portion of the barracks. I wouldn't call them impregnable.
How about that back room?
That should be strong enough to hold him till tomorrow, then we'll take him to the mainland. But I want him guarded by an officer who shall be held responsible. Lieutenant, we'll entrust Mr. Jeffries to your care.
I'd rather you didn't.
You've been given an order. Colonel Hackett will confirm it. Want the handcuffs, sir?
I wouldn't put the handcuffs on that swollen wrist if I were you.
Very well. Lock up your prisoner.
Please don't lock him in there with my wife, sir. She wouldn't understand it.
No, of course she wouldn't. We'll find a better place for her.
The girl's not here.
What's that?
Oh, she was here a minute ago, sir.
She must have slipped out while we were talking.
I never took my eyes off that door, sir.
You better go look for her, Pratt.
Yes, sir. It's a fine thing to happen to a guy on his wedding night.
You'll probably find her.
Now what are you doing?
I was just getting my hat. It's good stuff, too. Chisley's.
Well, there's just one more point to be cleared up before we call it a night. Take me to Jeffrey's quarters, will you?
You'll find plenty of evidence there.
Really? Have you been through his things, Doctor? You're guarding a dangerous man, Lieutenant. Good night.
Good night. You're getting a raw deal, Jeffries.
Is this some new trick?
No, I'm on my own now. It's my belief that Brooks murdered Riley. But if Rogers brings you to trial, he'll railroad you to the chair. You know that, don't you?
So what?
You got me out of a jam once, Jeffries. I haven't forgotten it. There's only some way you could get out of here for a while. Lay low.
How do I get out with the door locked and you here?
The door won't be locked. And I won't be here.
But how about your responsibility?
I'll cover that.
I know.
You take your time. I'll let you know when it's safe.
Surprise!
Well, what are you doing out here?
Oh, I was scared they'd lock me up in that room all night.
Your husband's looking for you.
Oh, let him look. All I've had from him tonight is grief. Say, couldn't I wait in here with you?
Why, of course. Sit down.
Oh, thanks. Gee, I was sure scared.
Well, don't you worry. We're not going to let anything happen to you. You're one of the outfit, you know.
Yeah, but one of the outfit was killed tonight.
Well, that case seems to have been solved.
You mean they got the guy what was murdered?
That's what they think.
Gee, they must have worked fast.
Well, maybe too fast.
See, did the murderer confess just like in the movies? All trembling with beads of sweat in his brow?
Yes, just like in the movies. We knew it was either a stranger or someone on the island with a good alibi, because we were all in our quarters when it happened. I was in my tent when I first heard the shot. Dr. Brooks was in the infirmary, and Colonel Hackett was in the...
Where's your tent?
down at the end of the company street, next to that of Sergeant Peterson. Why?
You're a little twisted, ain't you? Eddie hid me in the sergeant's tent right after the shooting. I'd only been there a minute when I seen you come running and go into your tent.
You sure it was me?
Sure.
Then what did I do?
You took off your overcoat and washed your hands and took off your pistol, too.
Now, how could you see all that?
Well, your tent wall was all rolled up on one side, remember? I thought you was a pretty swell-looking guy. Gee, that's an awful pretty ring you got on.
Yes.
You know, I'd like to buy Eddie one like it. Why, you can wear it on either hand, can't you? It's got your initial on it.
That's right. An M.
It's funny about M's and W's. When they're upside down, you can't tell which is which. Hi-ho. I think I better go find out where Eddie is.
No, I wouldn't if I were you. Don't do that again. I don't want to hurt you.
I bet you would. You got eyes just like my cat when he catches a mouse. Eddie!
Shut up. This case is closed and you aren't going to open it again. me the docks.
If you think you can get away with this, you're crazy.
Lieutenant Matthews speaking. Have the large speedboat prepared for immediate use. Colonel Hackett's orders. Have them put in 5 extra cases of fuel. We'll be there in a few minutes.
We?
I'm taking you with me.
But you can't do that. That'd be grand larceny.
The tramp steamer laying 10 miles off the Cape waiting for those guns. It'll take us instead.
Oh, but I'm a married woman.
Well, what of it?
And I'll defend the sanctity of my vows to the last drop of blood in my body.
I'm sure you will. Get up in that loft.
Huh?
Up you go.
Oh, what are you going to do?
You'll find out.
Well, you be careful. If you lay a hand on me, Eddie will kick the stuffings out of you.
I'll risk that.
Aren't you forgetting me, Matthews?
Not at all, Mr. Jeffries. You're about to escape.
Very nice. Shot down by you while trying to make a getaway. Why don't you give up? We've got you for the murder of Riley.
On the say-so of 2 witnesses who are about to be eliminated.
Oh, no, they ain't. I'm in on this.
Drop that gun, Prater. I'll shoot your wife. Drop it!
Please, Mr. Jeffries, let him go. Don't let him hurt her.
Don't worry, we can wait.
But I can't. And here's my safe conduct. You can't stop me.
You're stopped already. The building's surrounded. You can't get out, Matthews.
Well, if I don't, I'll get her and you, too.
Oh, no, you won't. First thing they'll do will be to rip that uniform off you. You're not fit to wear it.
All right, then. Take it.
Lieutenant Matthews! How about it, Corporal?
Why, Lieutenant Matthews is dead, sir. What about Jeffries?
I'm afraid he's badly wounded, Colonel. Corporal, get me some water and bring my bag.
Yes, sir.
That's all right. Mr. Rogers.
Yes, I know, Jeffries. I was wrong about you. We came as quickly as we could, but we listened at the door for a minute. I'm sorry now we didn't break in at once.
When Matthews offered to let me escape, I knew he was the man you wanted. I called a sentry to the window and told him to get you. That was the best I could do.
Yes, it's plain enough now. Riley discovered Matthews was gun running and tried to cut in. Riley wrote a letter to the War Department and threatened to mail it. Matthews tortured him to get the letter away from him and killed him. Can you forgive my mistake?
That's all right. You had to be wrong sometime.
I'm glad he was wrong, Jeffries. Bring a stretcher.
Look out! That crate!
Take aim, men. Come out or we'll shoot.
I was just telling her how much I loved her, sir.
Gosh, ain't nothing sacred to you guys.
Corporal, you can find those 2 in a tent. Yes, sir. And throw a guard around it.